If you want an electric car for a reasonable price and a very good warranty, your best bet has always been MG. They had the MG5 station wagon, which was a decent estate car, and they also have the very successful MG4 EV, which is one of the best quirky EVs you can buy for the money. You also had the MG ZS EV, which was a great small SUV, but it is now time for this car to be updated, and this is the replacement. This is called the MG S5, and no, it isn't an Audi. Right, let's have a look and see what it is like. Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Cars and More. This is the #1 place to be for car news and reviews. Sit back, buckle up, let's go. So the MG S5 is the direct replacement for the MG ZS EV, and this one isn't related to the new generation ZS in any way. In fact, the S5 is actually based on the MG4 EV platform, which is the MSP platform. This means we get a few characteristic traits from the MG4, but the front end styling is all new. To start with, we get a more rounded front end with some sharp upper light units that look similar to the MG4, but unlike that car, they don't have the main headlight unit in them. These units just house the LED daytime running lights in it, which gives this car a separated look, which looks quite cool. Moving lower down on the bumper, we get some cool looking headlight units similar to what you will find on Audis and BMWs with their split headlight design. These headlights also have a little side vent lower down to aid aerodynamics. The lower central air vent does look quite menacing and has a split design like the MG4 on the latest BMW 1 series. The MG badge is also higher up on the bumper, just like the MG4. Overall then, it's very good, decent design from the front. Moving around to the side, and we get a mixed design with inspiration from the new ZS and MG4. To start with, we get a few creases giving it a premium look, but we also get some chrome and some nicely designed glass areas similar to what the ZS has. Moving further back, and we can see a similar taillight design to the MG4 where it bleeds into the side. To give this car an off-road look though, MG has given the S5 some cladding around the wheel arches and seals. Finally, the wheel designs also look modern and are aerodynamic too, and they start from 17 inches and go to 18 inches on the trophy model. Moving around to the back, and we get a design that is very similar to the MG4, but it has been refined to make it look a lot more modern. To start with, we get these tail lights that mimic the MG4's tail lights. Because of this, they also have a light bar connecting them to the MG badge. The only difference here though is that it has a different graphic in them, and the setup also looks better because they are more integrated with this bootlip style spoiler above them rather than the headlights being on top, a bit like what the MG4 has. The bumper design is plain looking, but I'm okay with that because it fits well with the rest of the car's design. Right, let's have a look and see what battery and motor options you can have with the new MG S5. So, for the MG S5 you get 2 battery options and 2 motor options. Let's start with the base configuration first. This uses a 49 kWh battery pack and a rear-mounted motor with 168 brake horsepower. 0 to 62 is dealt with in 8 seconds, and this has a 211 mile range. The next version uses a bigger 64 kWh battery pack and a more powerful rear-mounted 228 brake horsepower motor. This has a 0 to 62 time of just 6.3 seconds and a range of 298 miles on the SE long range model or 288 miles on the trophy model. As the MG5 is based on the MG4, we could even see a more powerful X-Power version, but this is only pure speculation, but we can only hope and imagine. The new S5 also has 400 volt charging, which means you can rapidly charge with speeds at up to 139 kilowatts, and it gets from 10 to 80% in just 28 minutes depending on the battery size. The price of the new MG S5 starts at £28,495, which is actually £2,000 cheaper than the ZS EV it replaces, which is very rare in a normal car market, let alone an electric car market. Right, let's have a look at the interior and see what that's like. So, climbing inside the new MG S5 and we get this light and airy design to it. To start with, we get quite a lot of soft touch materials on top of the dashboard and on this bar that runs across the dashboard. You also get some fake carbon fibre designs too, but I am okay with that. Talking of this bar, this houses your infotainment system. Now, this infotainment system is based on the one that's in the MG3 Hybrid Plus, MG ZS Hybrid Plus, as well as the new HS. But in this it has a different screen layout. The screen size has now increased to 15.6 inches. It is easy to use and you get your quick buttons lower down as well as your heated seat and steering wheel buttons on the trophy model. Below the screen we get a few quick climate control buttons as well as your volume knob and home button. Even lower down we get some cool looking air vents that look remarkably similar to the ones that you would find in the new BMW 5 Series. In front of the driver you get a 10.25 inch digital instrument cluster, which has a fully digital inner part at 7 inches, and this is taken from the MG4, but to the sides of them you have your fuel range and kilowatt meter as a digital part too. The steering wheel is taken straight from the ZS and so are the stalks. The centre console is modern and high up, making feel like you sit low in the car, and this houses your wireless charger as well as your gear selector, cup holders and armrest. There is also a huge compartment underneath for bigger items too. Overall then, the fit and finish is quite high end for what car it is, and the cabin feels really well thought out. There isn't much piano black plastic lying about too that can easily scratch, and the centre console does feel premium with the materials that are used, something that we haven't actually seen before on cars at this price point. Finally, these seats also look and feel premium and are quite comfy too. Right, let's have a look and see what the rear seats are like. So, climbing into the back of the new MG S5, and legroom and headroom is quite decent for a 6-footer. You also get ISOFIX points too, and it will be great for children in the back as the doors do open quite wide. You also get some premium materials in the back as well as air vents and an armrest. Overall then, not too bad. Let's have a look at the boot. So, opening the boot to the new MG S5 and we get a decent amount of space at 453 litres. You also get an adjustable boot floor as well as a 60-40 split folding rear seat bench. Doing so will increase the space to 1,440 litres, which is very decent. Sadly no, we don't get a front boot to store your cables in, but you do have an adjustable boot floor as I said, so they can live under there. So in summary then, what do I think of the new MG S5? Well, it is a decent looking car with a premium interior for its category, and you also get a decent amount of practicality as well as a decent amount of range for a very good price. Now, if we compare this to its rivals, the Vauxhall Mokka Electric starts at $32,420 and the Kia EV3 starts at £32,995. Now, we could compare the S5 to other Chinese cars which are cheaper, but they are nowhere near as comfortable or as well tuned for the UK roads as the S5. Really, if you want an electric family SUV, then the ZS EV was the one, but this S5 is still the best one to go for. You also get a 7-year MG warranty too. What else do you want on a car like this? On a side note though, MG will possibly reveal an updated MG4 based on the current UK model in a few months' time, and this should get the updated interior and hopefully updated exterior looks similar to what the MG S5 has. In this case then MG is going to be on a winning formula with their electric cars. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.